I do love a useful gift, and this is definitely one. This is a Pyrex holder, and we are going to make these real quick. I just wanted to show you what all you can fit inside this carrier. It not only holds the small and the medium Pyrex, but you can also get, this is just a pie. I've got a glass pie dish in here. It will absolutely carry that. Super easy. I have this like 2 or 3 quart Pyrex container with a lid that you can also get in there and carry. So I wanted you to see that you could also get the large Pyrex in here. And this is the 13, what is it? 13.6 by 9.3. So I just wanted you to see you could literally get any of the Pyrex dishes in here, any of your cake pans. You can get a pie in there, a quart dish. Literally, this thing is huge. So you can get them all in there. I just wanted to kind of show you that all the sizes fit in here. It is a super multi-purpose thing, and it will basically flatten down to almost nothing and fit in a drawer. I love it. Let's do it. So 2.5 by 14, you need 2 of those. 4 by 24, you need 1 of those. You need an exterior piece cut at 17.5 by 17.5. You need your Insulated-Bright and your interior piece cut at 15.5 by 15.5. Okay, now that you have all the things you need to make this little project, we're going to do a cheat for binding, and I'm going to walk you through how to do this. I watched a tutorial from Jenny at Missouri Star Quilt Company, and she had one for a baby blanket that didn't tuck this in, but you could have a raw edge where you did a decorative stitch. Well, I wanted mine to be like super tight and neat and not have to do any other stitching, like just close it off. That's all I wanted to do. So I'm going to teach you how to do this, and you are literally, that's it. You fold, press, sew. It really is that easy. And then you have the whole binding already there. Now, you do need a ruler with 45-degree angle, or your cutting mat with a 45-degree angle. All right, let's step over to the cutting mat and I'll walk you through how to do it. Okay, so for cutting out the exterior piece, you want to get a 45-degree angle, and you're going to take it up to the corner, and you're lining that up on that 45-degree angle. I've got mine at 17.5 by 17.5. We're going to cut this down 1 inch because I want a 1/2 inch fold over. And I'll walk you through this in a minute. I know this is math, but this is an easy way to not have to bind your piece. You're really just looking for your mat or a ruler that has a 45-degree angle. Most rulers will have it. Mine's just so old that it's kind of missing some spots. So I just lay it on here. I'm going to cut this out, coming down 1 inch. I'm going to cut that off, and then I'll walk you through next steps. Okay, once you have your corner cut off, 45-degree angle, 1 inch is what we took off. What we're going to do next is, I find it is the easiest to measure out on a hard piece of paper. This is like a cardstock, and I measured up 1/4 of an inch. I'm looking to get 1/4 of an inch fold over. So I kind of eyeball where I want to start, and then I just fold over to my line, and then I know I've got 1/4 of an inch, and we are going to press that. And I find this works the best for me. You may have a different method that works great for you, but we've got to have that 1/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna just do that. And I am literally going to do that on all 4 sides. We have the 1/4 inch fold over. sewn down. Now what we're going to do to make our binding without having to do binding, which I think this is absolutely amazing, is we're going to fold right sides together and we're matching up these top pieces. We want to make sure these side pieces are matched up, and we're going to stitch at 1/4 of an inch over the top of this. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides. And I'm really just looking to make sure that I have all the things lined up. And the top, and it literally is that easy. We're going to have our binding done. Okay, we're going to just right there. And I'm just going to back stitch over the whole thing. And you'll trim away your threads and a little bit of that excess. And then I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you're done. And you have your little corner point, and you'll kind of roll it as you go to put it on, but you can see this is how it's going to turn out. And you're going to just stitch right here along this little edge. So freaking easy. Once you get all of your 4 corners done, and then you're going to put your quilted piece with the Insulated-Bright down inside that. All right, I'm going to go quilt, finish out my self-binding corners, and then I will see you back here in just a second. We'll put it all together. We have the inside of our carrier quilted, and now what we're going to do is set it inside this piece, and hopefully it works. I have no idea. Never used this before. I am not a binding girl. I have a lot of quilt tops, probably like a lot of you, that have never and may never see a quilt backing because you have to bind them. And that's just not my jam. But if this works, hey, that might be exciting. So I'm just going to slide it in here. And it's fitting, so that's a good thing. So then I'm going to go around and clip this. So I have this on here. And basically, we are going to stitch around this, and then we're going to add on the strap. So the strap that goes across from angle to angle. We've got to fold these over and attach our little handles here. I think it's going to turn out great. I'm super excited about it. And I think I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to use a 2.5 stitch because I do want this to hold. And off we go. We're going to hold these little things so we don't get that little bird's nest. I think this is going to work so great. I'm super excited about it. If you're comfortable binding, you can just cut all 3 pieces the same size. I would use 16.5 by 16.5. Okay, we made it all the way around, and I just want you to see, like, that worked great. Look at those great corners. I am not a fan of binding, and all we did was wrap this around. Like, we just set this inside of here. Okay, very impressed with that. Now we are going to make our handles and attach those. So 2 of them go on the outside, and then 2 of these get folded over. And I'm thinking we are going to fold that over 2 inches. What do you think? Does that sound good? I haven't made this before. Yeah, I think we'll do 2 inches. So we're going to hold this down because we got to make our little strap. We're going to go 2 inches on either side here, and should be right about the same. Yep. Okay, we're going to should probably press this just to get rid of all my little purple marks, because that is a heat erase pen. And I have a bunch of these little threads that I'm going to have to clean up later, but this is a test. You know, I was thinking about giving away some of my things. Like, we had 1,000 on YouTube and subscribers, and I thought I should do like a giveaway. I'm not good at that stuff. I don't know exactly how to make it work, but I'll think about doing a post, and maybe I'll give away a few of the kitchen items that I'm testing out to see how they turn out. All right, let me grab my strips. We have our strips. We're going to go ahead and do some decorative stitch on here. I'm going to do that at a 3 and fairly close to the edge. Before I start on this longer strip, the one that's going to be 1 inch, I wanted to show you that you can close this end off. We do need a finished end on this. And so, you know how it's folded in like this? I'm basically just taking this back on itself, and I'm going to stitch at 1/4 of an inch. So we have trimmed this off. We're going to turn this. I started to use my scissors. We won't do that. We're going to turn this over, and we have a nice finished edge. I'm going to stitch down again at 3. This is just decorative to kind of hold it in place and make it look good. Okay, so what we've got to do is, we had this at our 2 inch, and we are going to, second with that one, we are going to attach these underneath, and then we want to make sure that there's no twist or wiggle or any of that. I'm just going to overlap them on each other, and that will become our handle. I'm just trying to figure out, yeah, I think it'll go like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, I'm going to clip this down. Clip this down. And what we're going to do is, we're going to sew our little V right here. We're going to go just on the outside edge, kind of sew that down. We're going to back stitch over the piece of material, because this is going to become our handle. So we want to really reinforce that. And let me show you how cute this is. So you've got your, and that becomes our handle for this on the inside. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to place one in there, come around. This is coming along nicely. I'm very excited. All right, so we have those on. Now we just have to put our tab on. Like I said, mine's going to be short. I'm all right with that. And we are going to measure 2 inches, and then 2 inches here. That's just going to tell me where I need to go, how far down I need to go on here. Oh, almost did it the wrong way. And so that's at 2 inches. And I'm just doing the 2 inches because this is about a 2-inch fold as well. And so we're just looking to have it all be right about the same. We're going to clip this on the side and this one on the side. And I'm just going to stitch all around, like a square rectangle around the strap, because I want to really reinforce that. It's going to be holding the weight of the Pyrex dish. Okay, so I basically just went around that. We have the rectangle on this side, so we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to put that at the 2-inch mark. And then let me grab my Pyrex and put it in here so you can see how this works. And I have it in there, and this is what it looks like and how it works. This is so cool. Let me adjust this so you can fully see this. Okay, so how you do it is you put it in with the long strap that goes across. You take your little handle, you take this up through it, take this one and up through it, and then you have your little handle. Oh my goodness. This is like the most awesome. This is so cute. Okay, well, I'm Cassie, and this is 62 handcrafted. I hope you make a bunch of these and give them away as Christmas gifts. I'll see you soon.